welcome to Butterfly Yoga and Pilates. I had a request for a class with a focus on arms, so that's what we'll be doing today. In the class I use a chair and a blanket, and if you have some hand weights at home you could definitely add them in the first 5 minutes or so of the class, but they're not necessary. You can definitely do this class without weights. I was delighted to receive the request, so if you have any more I'd love to hear from you. Enjoy the class. So you could do this first part standing or sitting, whatever feels best for you. So let's start by reaching out and into the fingers, reaching out as far as you can through the fingers, thinking about softening and relaxing your shoulders. Let your palms be face up. And then we're going to flip the palms over, and as we do, push through the palms of the hand. So the palms come up and then we push through. Palms come up and push through. So keep doing this movement while we chat. So when you think about this hand pushing through movement, really see can you extend into the fingers so that the fingers are pointing up towards the ceiling. Really important to get this area of the wrist and the forearm strong for when we're doing plank and chaturangas in our yoga practice, and also for doing our front support movement in Pilates. So keep doing that movement, keep pushing through. I'm going to ask you, while we do the movement in the first part of the class, to try to keep your arms lifted all of the time. Of course, if at any stage your neck starts to feel a bit grumpy, then just let your hands float down and join back in with the movement again. Okay, it's quite possible as I'm chatting that I'll lose count. So if I do, feel free to skip a couple or maybe even do an extra few, whatever feels best. Okay, let's do 3 more like this. For 3 and 2. Last 1. We're going to keep the arms up. Now I want you to imagine that right here you've got a ball, and you're going to go under the ball and over the ball, under the ball and over the ball, under the ball, over the ball. So it's like you're scooping up and scooping down. Now often when we do these kind of movements and our arms and shoulders start to get tired, the spine gets involved, but I want you to minimize the rocking of your spine as much as possible, so that it really is about the arms and the shoulders. And we'll do 3, 2, last 1, and come up. Okay, now we're going to turn the palms to face up again, reach into the fingers, and then we're going to touch to the shoulders and reach back out. Shoulders and reach out. Shoulders. Every time you reach out, straighten your arms at the elbows as much as possible so that you really feel the work in the triceps, in the underside of the arms. Reach out, tap and reach out, tap and reach out, tap, reach out, tap, reach out. Let's do 5 more. And 4 and 3 and 2, last 1. Come back in. Now take your elbows to the front. Try and keep the height of your elbows so that they're in line with the shoulders. And again, we'll reach out and tap, out and tap, out and tap, out, tap. Keep lifting the elbows. Keep pointing them up towards the ceiling as you tap and tap. Let's do 5 more. Don't forget to breathe. And 3 and 2, last 1, elbows come out, arms come out again. Now we're going to make a fist with both hands, and now we're going to turn both of the knuckles, or knuckles on left and right, down towards the floor, then up towards the ceiling, down towards the floor, up towards the ceiling, down towards the floor, up towards the ceiling. Once again, feel how the spine wants to get involved with the movement, but don't let it happen. Keeping the spine nice and still as you move through the arms. Let's do 5 more. And 3 and 2. Last 1. Keep reaching through the fingers. Now take the arms in, and this time we're going to circle. Elbows go down, up and around, down, up and around, down, up and around, circling for 3 and 2 and 1 in the opposite direction for 5 and 4. and 3 and 2 and 1. Reach out again. Bend the elbows, make that fist again, and now we're going to take the arms together. Imagine that there's a balloon right between your forearms that you want to pop, and then take them out wide and together and wide and together and wide and together. Watch out for the rib cage this time. It's going to want to pop forward on that wide position, but see instead, can you think about squeezing the shoulder blades together behind and wide, hoping you're feeling that work in the arms now. And 3 and 2, last 1. Now we're going to go up, so we're going to push up and down and together and wide, and push up and down and together and wide. So you could see how you could easily add some weights to this movement if you wanted to. So if you wanted to make the challenge a little bit more, and we'll do 5 and 4 and 3 and 2, last 1. Okay, reach through the arms again, hold them up there if you can. Now turn the palms to face away from you. Now we're going to push back like you want the palms of your hands to touch the wall behind you. Let them come back in line with your torso. Push back and back and back and back and back and back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn the palms up, reach into the fingers and hold. Turn them back over and hold. Keep reaching out into the fingers. Last time to turn up and hold. Last time to turn down. And then let the arms float all the way down. Okay, let's roll the shoulders, just circling them out, getting rid of any tension that you might feel. Drop your chin towards your chest, take your gaze up towards the ceiling, release any tension in your neck. Okay, so hopefully you've got your props now, your chair and your blanket. We're going to place the blanket underneath the knees, a little bit away from the chair. We're going to go between 2 really great movements here for the shoulders and the arms, and one is a push-up and then the other one is a pull back, which is great to balance out the arms. If you have a full push-up practice, as in you're on the floor doing your push-up, just push your chair away to do that part of this movement. I'm going to keep the chair in just for ease of going between the 2 movements. We're going to start with a pulling movement. The hands are going to go on top of the chair, and you're thinking of pressing downwards with the hands. And then the pull comes in when you start to sit back. So this is great work for the triceps. So you're pushing down. I really want you to push down as much as you can. And then as you begin to send your hips back, you start to pull. Now, if you're really pressing down and pulling back, you will really feel the work in the triceps, in the upper arms, and also in the area of the lats, which is kind of around here. And keep that pressure all of the time. And then rise back up again, pulling yourself back up. So this is where if you have a full length push-up practice, you could go for it now. Otherwise, use the chair, widen your hands as much as you can on the chair, lift yourself up and into a plank position. Push through the heels, lower the body towards the chair, and then rise back up again. And that's your pushing movement. Let's send the knees down towards the floor. We'll come back to our pull. Press the hands down and into the chair. Imagine you want to pull it back towards you, but you can't. It's totally stuck, and it's definitely not going to go anywhere. And then you keep that pull as you start to sit your hips back towards your heels. Try not to let it go. Try to keep that pulling action all of the time. Now, this part of the movement doesn't look like very much from the outside, but we're creating our own internal resistance. So really think of pulling. If you're doing that, you're going to feel probably even a little tremble, a little shake in the arms and around the lats too. Rise back up, pulling yourself back up again. Go nice and wide on the chair. Lift up into your plank position. Push up, lower the knees, press down. Press and pull, pull, pull as you sit back. Rise up, hands nice and wide, toes tuck under, heels back, lower down, push up, knees down, hands on top of the chair, push down, pull back. Keep the pull and the pressure down as you sink your hips back. Feel that little tremble and know that that is signs of transformation and toning of the arms. Widen the hands, curl the toes under, plank position, lower the body down, push up, knees down, hands on top of the chair. This will be our last one like this. Press down, pull, 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 pull. Coming back up, widen your hands, curl your toes, plank position, and then we lower the body down and push away. Knees come down. Okay, for the next bit, I'm going to push the chair out of the way. We're done with the chair. So for the next part of this practice, we just need our blanket. And we're going to take our blanket and place it down so that it's underneath our knees. We're going to go back now to that push-up position, but this time we're going to keep the knees down. But just like in the last one, if you have a full-length push-up practice, go for it. You can work from there either. We're going to take the hands so that they're underneath the shoulders, and they're going to be wide, about as wide as the mat. I like to take my index fingers onto the mat, thumbs onto the mat, and every other finger off. We're going to come into a half plank position. You can either keep your shins on the floor or lift them and cross the feet over, whatever feels best for you. Keeping your half plank position, lower your chest to the floor and push back up. Try not to let your hips stay back behind you. You want the whole body to come down to the floor in one piece. We're going to do 2 more. And as I say, feel free to be in that full plank position. And then from here, we're going to walk the knees forward, cross at the shins, roll over so that you find yourself seated on the blanket. Reach the legs out in front, take the hands behind. Hands are behind, fingers facing forward. Roll the shoulders back and away from the ears. And now we're going to lift the hips. Don't worry about lifting them too high. This is more about the arm focus rather than the hips. So now we're going to let the elbows bend behind, and then we're going to push them to straight. We're going to bend them, let the hips drop down. But again, the focus is not about the hips going up and down. It's about the arms bending and straightening, and bending and straightening. And we'll do 3, 2, last one. Come down, cross the legs up the shins, roll forward. Find your knees on your blanket or come to your full push-up position. And we'll go back to lowering the body down towards the floor for 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the knees forward, cross at the shins and roll back. Legs come out, hands come behind. Try to prevent the shoulders from tipping forward. Think of them pulling back. Lift the hips. And then we're bending at the elbows. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do one more set of each. Coming forward, knees onto the blanket, hands nice and wide, half plank or full plank position for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Knees come forward, cross the shins, roll back. Last time in our reverse, half plank position. Lift the hips, bend the elbows and straighten for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come down. Okay, for the final part of our class, We're going to use our blanket again in about the same kind of fold, but we're not going to use our mat. So just fold your mat up and scoot it out of the way. Now you will need a sliding floor surface, but if you happen to have carpeted floor, you could try using paper plates and see if that works out for you. The alternative is to use those exercise sliders. Okay, so we're going to start around the back end of where your mat would have been. The knees are down, and then we're going to take the hands out in front, and then we're going to pull ourselves forward. So rise up a little bit and pull. Take your hands out, rise up a little and pull. So depending on how much space you have, you could continue all the way around your room, but just so that you don't lose me from the camera, I'm going to stay in the frame and just push myself back again. So hands come out to the front and you pull. Now what you'll probably notice is that you can really feel your upper arms, particularly your triceps work. And I think that's probably what most of us are after, you know, for this time of the year when we're wearing short sleeves, just to get the triceps toned. Okay, we'll do that way one last time. Hands are out to the front and you're going to pull. It's kind of fun too, I think. And then pull. And then either keep going or push yourself all the way back. Okay, this time we're going to come up and into a position like downward dog, but then we're going to bend the knees a little bit. So almost like we're about to hop forward like a frog, but instead we're going to pull. Hands come forward. So you'll notice I'm keeping my hips low and pull. And then again, use your space, whatever way you like, to either push back or to keep pulling around. We'll do it that way twice more. So you're in like a downward dog shape, but your knees are bent, and then you pull, keeping the hips low, and pull, hips low, pull, and then make your way back. And last time like this, and pull. You might also find that there's some core engagement happening here, as well as the work for the arms, which is great. And come back. Okay, and then last one. And this time we're going to rise up into that more familiar looking downward dog shape. And we're going to cross one foot over the other. Doesn't matter which way, because we'll go both sides, and plant the hands down. And this time, because the legs are crossed, we're going to get a little twisting action through the obliques. Just be careful on your sliding surface that you don't fall over. So that's good too, but we're still getting all that pulling action on the arm. So you're going to go from that downward dog shape, and then you're going to pull forward, keeping the hips lifted this time. Walk the hands forward, and then pull. Walk the hands forward, plant them into the floor, and pull. And then once you've done that, you can uncross your feet, slide yourself back to your start position, and then we'll take it on the other side. So whatever foot you crossed over last time, switch them around. Plant your hands, and exhale and pull. Hands come forward, exhale and pull. Hands come forward, exhale and pull. Uncross your feet, slide yourself all the way back, and then come back down. Okay, that's it. That's our practice for today. Obviously you can keep sliding around on the mat. I hope that you do, because it is a lot of fun. I hope that you feel the benefits of the work in your shoulders and your arms, and that you come back to this practice lots of times. Thanks so much for joining me today. See you again soon.